Good morning, everybody. We are back. It is the Saturday edition of the Closing Line. Here with me, Donnie, or me, Big Man on Campus, and my co-host, Donnie Rightside. Donnie, it's Saturday. It's baseball. It's weekend. We got a week or so to IFBC. Football is coming. Next week, college football begins. I can't wait. I know you're embroiled in baseball. I can't wait, though, for college football.
Yeah, Nick, what is it, Jeff? Look, this is how much or I care about early season gambling, through preseason. Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong right here. You will be a few time zones over on the West Coast next Saturday, 1 week from today. Is there a college football game on dock for that day?
There's college football next weekend. Yeah, there's a few, 4 or so, I believe. So
now, what's the first day? Which day are we officially kicking off? Like, I remember was it last year, the year before? Like, Hawaii playing in like Australia or whatever the heck it was. Do we have some inordinate weird game on a different continent to open up college football this year? Or no.
I mean, you have Colorado and Wyoming, or some random games. I mean,
nobody in like Australia or anything, or Ireland.
I don't believe so. No.
All right.
So it's just a couple of random games. Nothing great, but it's like preseason football in a way. You get some football on, and everybody's excited. And I'm sure people will be betting on them, even though they don't know anything about the teams. But that's another story. Welcome into the show. Hopefully you enjoy it. Over the next hour, we'll mercilessly have to talk about baseball. Then we'll talk, we'll talk about whatever you want. We always kind of go off on a tangent or two. You got a full Donnie. You know what? I'd rather literally, honestly, talk about preseason than over MLB.
We could do whatever, man. Look, nobody from Costa Rica is watching here today. I like this. I mean, I know there are, but I just like to say it, like to think that way. The plate is ours today, Jeff. If you want pizza tonight, you're going to have pizza. If you want beer tonight over vodka, you're going to have beer. This is the people's show, Jeff. Let's have some fun today. You want to talk some preseason? Get it off your chest. Let's go.
Oh, no, I don't. I was just saying in general, like I'd talk preseason over this, over baseball. But quickly, Donnie, before we get going here, Ronaldo, first game today against Chievo, and it's in Chievo, so definitely a first road trip for the Juventus old lady here. Listen, Cristiano Ronaldo to score any time is like minus 200, but to score first, he's at like I think 2-1. I think he scores first today. I'm going to take a shot with that. Put a little bet in. Chievo or Juventus win the 0 looks pretty good. I don't think Chievo will score in this game. Juventus should start off the season with a win. But Donnie, let's get into baseball. That's what we do on this show, and that's what we have fun with here. By the way, Donnie, a little update. Your side QPR is bothering me today.
Oh, what are we doing? We charging up the pitch, Jeff? What do we got going on?
Well, they're playing well. Actually, it's 1-1 against the best team in the league. So they're being annoying today. Hopefully they'll go away, and that'll be that. But they're playing well so far. So congrats to them. Let's get into baseball here. We'll start it out up at the top. We'll look at the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies, 951, 952. And by the way, shout out to all the listeners. Hopefully you're out there and you had a great Friday evening. What'd you do, Donnie? Anything?
Yeah, I had a nice win last night on the Atlanta Braves, celebrated it by doing what I usually do, Jeff, sitting on my couch watching television, and then my wife going to bed early, and then I just hang out the rest of the night, watch a little You and Gabe on YouTube last night, browse around to see what's going on. It was the perfect night in the life of Donnie Rightside last night.
Are you guys doing shows next week from IFBC? No. We'll be just speaking. We will not have shows next week. No Friday, no Saturday. And we're never on Sundays. Monday,
Jeff, there's so much energy that comes from me and you that Zach at SBR, I mean, you guys have seen him in here, chat box, runs the show down there, had to put us, Jeff, on separate days because the energy would just be too much if we had me and you on the same day, by the way.
Well, I don't know about that, but, maybe you're right. Mets Phillies, Donnie. Let's get into it. Mets Phillies. DeGrom against Arrieta. Good pitching match here. DeGrom laying 111, total 7.5. Phillies, another big win last night. Crowd was great down there last night. I think they had 40,000 down there. Looked like an old game in 2008 or 2009, Donnie. The fans are terrific. Phillies, though, I mean, the offense is still a problem, but they're finding ways to win games. They put that 24-4 game behind them. They've won 3 of 4. You're getting the Phillies as an underdog here. Donnie gets the Mets, a team that when Jacob deGrom pitches, they don't win. What are your thoughts here? I mean, deGrom in his career, 6-1 in 13 starts with a 2.45 ERA. He's last 2 games against the Phillies, he's not giving up a run. 9 innings, no runs. But before that, late September, 3 2/3, he gave up 6 earned runs and gave up 10 hits. What are your thoughts here? Can the Phillies get the job done here as a small underdog, if you look at it?
Yeah, last time Arrieta took the mound, Jeff, was on Sunday, and actually my last loss was on Sunday, and that was for Jake Arrieta out on the West Coast there. A little bit of a square play, but I figured he would match up. He's been pitching well in a pitcher's ballpark. Didn't go so well, Jeff. One Freddie Galvis hit a grand slam, and it was off and popping. The Phillies lost that game in San Diego before coming home. Now, taking a look at this game today, Jeff, are you going to bet against deGrom, though? The last time deGrom took the mound was against the New York Yankees. I was able to hit a really nice underdog play, Jeff, in the first 5 innings with deGrom was plus 153. The Mets ended up winning that game overall. If you look at some of their advanced numbers, if you try to blend that whole season total with how they're pitching lately, on the season, Jeff, xFIP for deGrom, 2.89. Last 30 days, Jeff, 2.65. We've seen it, Jeff. I know your moniker throughout the summer, and rightfully so. Now, there are a couple better bats in that lineup than were maybe a couple weeks ago that the Phillies have made some nice key trades there. But you're also talking about deGrom on the mound. Where do the runs come from? If you like Jake Arrieta, if you think he can sit down the Mets, that's all fine and good. But there is an opposing pitcher on the mound, Jeff, that you have to worry about. The runs are going to be a problem for the Phillies. Can you wait out deGrom? Can you wait out to the 7th or 8th inning to try to get into that bullpen today? That's a low number. Are the Phillies the better team than the Mets? Of course they are. The Phillies have a better bullpen than the Mets? Yes, they do. But whenever you have deGrom on the mound, Jeff, with a team that tends to hide from really good pitching, it might be a tough one here for the Philadelphia Phillies today.
Well, see, this is the issue with Arrieta. I mean, you shouldn't be talking like that when it comes to Arrieta. You should be thinking, you know what, Arrieta's going to come out here, he's going to pitch well. But he's been inconsistent this year. That's just the truth. You can't trust him sometimes. But we will say this, other than his last start, which that seems to be weird about Jake Arrieta. He'll look real good in 2 straight starts. He'll go 15 innings, only give up a run like he did against Arizona and Boston. And then he'll get crushed by San Diego. It's today, though, I think he's going to pitch well. And I think that's what will keep the Phillies hanging around in this one. And I think they probably will win this one late just because I think, they'll have the ability. This game will be close. Maybe they're down a run. I think when you get the Phillies at this price against the Mets, I guess you almost have to take it. But deGrom is solid. If you're shooting for Arrieta, maybe you look at an under, but it's day baseball in Philadelphia in that weather condition. It's hard to take an under here. So it's a tough game. I'd probably pass on it overall. Maybe slightly into the Phillies, but there's really not a lot to go on here. Miami heading to Washington. The Nationals minus 190, total 9.5. Wei-Yin Chen against Tommy Milone. Christ. This looks like
Jeff, I actually had this game pegged for Maloney as well, but there has been a change to Rodriguez as the pitcher for the Washington Nationals today. So there's a pitching change there.
Who the hell is Rodriguez?
He's a spot starter out there. They throw him in every once in a while. Yeah.
So I don't know that it'll matter. Miami, though, Donnie, they've lost 13 of 15. They just don't win very often, Miami. But look, I'm not betting, this price on a spot starter. Maybe over the number. I mean, Washington's going to hit Chen, I would imagine. But then again, I mean, Chen's pitched pretty well lately, but you can't trust his on the road. I mean, Donnie, 9 road starts.
Yeah.
He's 1-6 with a 10.28 ERA and a 2 WHIP. What are your thoughts here? Do you go over the number?
Yeah, one of the more unbelievable mysteries in baseball sometimes, Jeff. And sometimes you have to look down at South Florida itself and say that ballpark really helps a pitcher out. Case in point, Wei-Yin Chen. Jeff, sometimes at home, he looks like Sandy Koufax. Now he gets on the road. He looks like, Oil Can Boyd at 45 years old trying to throw strikes out there. It's an amazing, amazing dichotomy between home and away for Wei-Yin Chen because you do have a Washington lineup, Jeff, that can hit and hit in that ballpark. If they throw a strong 1 through 8 out there, I don't mean the Defoe Keyboom lineup for Washington. I'm talking about real players in there that they can stack in that lineup. There's no reason they won't be able to hit Chen around. And if you're looking at Maloney, he was fading fast anyway. Now you have the pitching change, and I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. The one thing I do like, Jeff, is when Washington gets hot at the plate against a pitcher that they can hit in their ballpark, i.e. Wei-Yin Chen out there, 9.5 does seem like a really high number for an NL game because you're going to have to get the 10 runs there. But what do you have in place for the Marlins, Jeff? An awful pitcher, an awful bullpen. Say what you want about their lineup. If they do put a decent lineup out there, they're going to scrape by with a couple runs out there. The one thing that you could probably lean your hat on, Jeff, is Washington should be able to get the Chen for 5 and 6 runs in this one. So then you're saying, all right, if they get 6, well, you better hope the Marlins can get 4. You're going to need a runaway winner in this one. But the good part about it is, Jeff, neither one of these pitchers are an 8-inning guy with a ton of strikeouts out there. So what you're going to look at is say, can we get into these bullpens and can we get one of those games, Jeff? Because one of the best things in baseball when you're taking a total is like a 5-1 lead in the 6th or a 5-1 lead in the 7th, because the one team is not going with their A-plus bullpen to shut it down. And the other team that's down 5 or 6-1 at that point, they're not using their A guys. So you might be able to tack on a couple runs late. I would lean on the over because it looks too easy down there. But look, I'm not taking an under 9.5 with Chen on the road. He might give it up himself.
Agreed. We have a prop for IPC poker. Best finish. Donnie Rightside -115. Listen, no offense, but that's. I'm not kidding. That's not
Jeff,
funny.
Are you getting slighted? Are you getting slighted?
I played poker my whole life. I mean, I played poker since I was a kid. The fact that I'm even money against Donnie Rightside's kind of ridiculous. I mean,
the luck of the draw, Jeff.
Obviously the SBR forum hasn't listened many to his coworkers on how to create odds. That's a terrible line. That's definitely got to be moved to at least
210.
Yeah, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, something like that. No, it's even higher than Leeds scored. Boom, good, very good. Kid Bay Brooklyn, welcome in. Sonny Vega, what's up? Alex Jorge, welcome in. Donnie, let's keep it going here. We spent way too much time on Nationals Marlins. Let's keep it going to the 955, 956 Cubs heading to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 119, total 8.5. Tyler Chatwood back on the hill against Joe Musgrove. Chatwood, Donnie, is I mean, the guy gives out more walks than I've ever seen. It's amazing how many times this guy walked. Donnie, last 2 starts, okay, on September or July 21st, July 26th, 12 walks in 2 starts. That was in I don't know, about 10 innings. Amazing stuff that Chatwood, the 85 walks over 94 innings this year. Musgrove has pitched terrific. I like Pirates here.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? We took a look at the last 2 games in Pittsburgh, Jeff. What an anomaly, man. 1-0, 1-0. I mean, Jesus, you expected some runs to come across the board. But then again, Jeff, Trevor Williams is, I told you, we need piss tests for these guys yesterday, especially with Trevor Williams. What the hell has gotten into him? I don't know, but it seemed like you can't get a base hit. But how about the Pirates, Jeff? Let's take one of these games where, you get really stressed out about a game or you just can't figure it out and you can't watch it anymore. Can you imagine, Jeff? Let's just say you bet the Yankees, right? And you're saying, all right, we're getting runners on base every single inning. Jeff, they hit into 7 double plays last night. Can you imagine losing a game 1-0 where your ball club got into 7 double plays and took an L? I don't think that's going to take place. I do think there is some room here today for some runs, but one would have thought yesterday you might have had a little correction and say these pitchers just aren't that good. Somebody's going to get some base hits and score some runs. That didn't take place. But if I'm looking at one of these games today, I'm going to try to pick out a total on the card, which I've been very good with lately here. This is one of them, Jeff. Musgrove at home this year, an xFIP of 4.48. That's not that great at all. On the road for Chatwood, and it seems like damn near anywhere, 5.64, which is above, really way above what you're trying to look at as a poor pitching effort out of him continuously on the road. But it also seems like you get those efforts at home. And then a 4.40 and a 7.24 in the last 30 days xFIP on both of these pitchers. So you try to blend some season-long stats with how are they pitching lately here, Jeff. If they can't get runs today in Pittsburgh, I don't know, man. I'm just at a loss for words.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing keeping you away is Musgrove. But you look at his home starts. I mean, he's not been amazing either. So, yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. This is an interesting question, actually. This is actually a good question because people ask me this all the time. Donnie and Big Man, do you think 500 is enough to start sports betting? Listen, it depends. Yeah, if that's what you have, then that should be enough. But you should be betting a certain amount then. You should not be betting more than a allotted amount. You should I would get a little more money if I were you. Obviously, you want to have a little bit of leeway when you make a bet, but yeah, I mean, if that's what you're starting with, then that's what I would start with. What would you make unit, Donnie? $10? I mean, it should be.
That's, I always like that. What's sort of bankroll? Like theoretically myself, Jeff, I'm 40 years old, you're a little bit younger than me. I don't know if I've ever said this or have done this in my entire betting life. You know what, Jeff? I'm going to set aside $2,000 as my bankroll. It's really like a fictionary thing that nobody actually does. In the gambling business, you just have to be right. What can you afford to lose and not afford to lose like on a Friday night when you're trying to gamble all weekend long? It's the same thing in life, Jeff. You need money to pay your rent. You need money to pay your car note. You need money for gas. You need money for lunch. You have to factor all of that into what you can actually afford and not go through. But the whole thing of, can I start with 500 or can I set aside does anybody ever set aside actual funds?
I agree.
Put in an envelope somewhere,
I totally agree with you. And I got to tell you this. You start your bet, you get 2% of your bankroll. Fuck that. Just bet what you think is a good amount and run with it. Listen, I mean, look, if your net worth is like $100,000, I wouldn't be betting $1,000 a game, and going crazy. But find yourself, if $100 works, bet $100 a unit. And you're not going to get crushed. You're not going to get into a pitfall. The only way you get into a pitfall is if you have a book that gives you credit. Maybe you're a little bit reckless and you bet money you don't have. But a lot of people don't bet on credit anymore. It's not stuff people do. I think if you're responsible, you can do it. But most people are betting they're putting $500 in a book online or $1,000. Yes. Stick to a certain amount and just run with it. But just like putting money, I don't do that either. So that's a good point by you. Let's get it going. It's a good question, though.
It is a good question. Yeah, because you get a lot of that from people. Well, what's your bankroll? Well, I don't know. I have a few $100s in my checking account, so I'm trying to make some bets and maybe win some money. Because contrary to popular belief here through Twitter and through Twitter cappers, not everything is 3,000, 5,000, 500, 400 a night. Some people are just going out to say, it's this game on. I'm going to bet it. Hey, tonight, my bankroll is tonight, Jeff. Just got paid at work. Maybe I can go a couple $100 deep in this game. Or, a little bit light on funds. I got to make sure I make it to next week. $50 tonight on that. Use gambling as a vehicle to hopefully make some money at the end of the day. That's what the goal of gambling is. It's not to sit back and say, I got 10 grand on this game, and if I don't make it, I'm just going to be busted broke. That's not a way to go about business.
Look, I've said before, I've told people what I bet. I don't care about telling them. I don't know if it's anyone's business really, but I mean, look, I would set and make sure you have an amount that you're betting per game, but just make sure it kind of coincides with what you're doing.
Like Knish, Jeff, you know what I mean? Grind out that living, man. Grind out. You don't have to sit at the table with Chan and bust out and go large. Grind out that living. There's no shame in that.
Well, I'm kind of a mix of Knish and Mike. Sometimes I will go a bit heavy, and maybe I shouldn't. But you know what? The best memories that I have, Donnie, when I did say, you know what, I'm going to go bigger on this, and I've won.
Yes.
I can't say I've ever I've made 5 real big bets in my life. I don't think I could ever say I lost them. Honestly, they were always ones that came in, like the Army game against when Brandon Jackson died, stuff like that. But as far as
largest wager for me, Jeff, that I ever had, and it all looked like it was going to go broke, a pouring rainstorm Super Bowl between the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears. I went super square, tripled up on that game, got lucky, but hey, a win is a win, whether you get lucky or not. That was the biggest wager I ever made on a sporting event, was on the Indianapolis Colts over the Chicago Bears. Remember that game, Jeff? How'd that open up? Devin Hester to the house in the pouring rain. Yeah. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. So, hey, it worked out, though.
But no, there's it's always fun to kind of wake up and put your money to work. But yeah, I mean, just be smart with what you're doing. I've talked about before lightning bets. Like I make lightning bets. Those are, I think, advanced wagers that a lot of people should not make. Donnie, you know about lightning bets. I mean, shit like that, you really have. That's where you get in trouble.
If you're going to bed at night worried about waking up the next day and how you're going to work this out and how you're going to pay and who you're going to call the next day, whether it's mom, dad, your friend, or try to bail out, that's how you know you went a little bit too far. Because when you lose the game, you can turn the TV off, fall asleep, go to bed, and damn near forgot you even lost a wager the last night. That's how you do it. But if you're going to bed and the minute you shut your eyes going, All right, let me see if I can call up my buddy Jay tomorrow at 9 a.m. If he doesn't do it, I'm going to call my Uncle Mike because I don't want my dad to know.
Like, hey, how many loan sharks do I know again? And how many of them no, listen, I don't think I've been ever there, but I have. Yeah. I've done lightning bets where, I'm $100 a point. Remember last year, Don, I did it? Aaron Rodgers gets injured?
Yes, correct.
I mean, that was a rough one, dude. Like, I skated out with I think I ended up only losing like 2 G's, but it could have been 5.
Yeah, it could have been bad.
I mean, it was reckless. But it just was, I was just super unlucky in that one. But yeah, let's move on here and get back to the baseball here. San Francisco heading on the road to take on the Reds. Harvey against Bumgarner. Harvey, a nice underdog here, total at 8.5. Donnie, 151 on Bumgarner. Bumgarner's still pitching really well. I mean, he hasn't had that unbelievable year. He's been kind of injured off the mend, and he's not been great on the road. Do you lay 150 here? I mean, you still got to lay 150 with Bumgarner, don't you?
Yeah, the interesting part, though, Jeff, is San Francisco's got a hit. And you're going to look at a Saturday game, which we know a lot of the times. I know your boy Buster Posey, sometimes he doesn't show up in that lineup, but that's a pretty big out if you don't have him in the lineup, either at catching or at first base. When I'm taking a look at some stuff, even over the season, though, at home, in home starts this year, Jeff, xFIP for Matt Harvey is a 4.50. That's not that good. But look at the overall total. I know you got to get a little bit closer with some 30-day action, but on the road, Bumgarner's xFIP on the season, Jeff, a 5.36, which is awful. But if you look at some of those starts there, we always like to say, Jeff, hey, look, if you had 2 innings and 6 earned runs, and then you go the next game with 6 innings, no earned runs, your ERA is still going to be high. So you want to try to take a look, say, well, what happened in this game? What took place? Were there errors which forced the inning to stay long and they had to throw an extra 15 pitches and it hurt them the next inning? But overall, last 30-day period, Jeff, 4.41, 4.91 between Bumgarner and Harvey. Yesterday, they didn't score, Jeff. In Great American Ballpark, Joey Votto sat out. Maybe he gets back in the lineup today. But taking a look at this game, I'm thinking there might be a little bit more runs than one would think. But you're right about it. When you take a look at Bumgarner versus Harvey, but how many times have we said it in the past week, Jeff? Do you get the Harvey at 98 in the first inning, or do you get the Harvey at 94 in the first inning? That's telltale.
Good point. One thing that's important to someone who's in wagering is understanding it's a marathon. You lose some, deal with it by grinding, not trying to instantly recoup. Listen, sometimes when it's Sunday and you're up 700, Donnie, sometimes for me, I don't care. Like sometimes I'll literally take that 700 and just put it on one game. If I lose, I'm even. That's not a good way to bet on games. No. But as I got older, as I realized, you're right. Take the profit where you can get it. It's hard to profit every week. Any profit is good profit. Some people want all the profit. You're not going to get all the profit. You got to just grind it the fuck out. You're right, Donnie. It might not be sexy. It might not be fun, but grinding out units, profit, that's what's important. If you can grind out profit 52 weeks of the year, you're going to make a lot of money.
Jeez.
Impossible to do, but just saying. We'll keep it going here. Donnie, what do we got here? We got Senzatella, Rockies on the road at the Braves. Braves 157, total 8.5. Fultonavich against Senzatella. Interesting matchup here. Colorado has played well, winning 6 of 7. And the Atlanta Braves have played well. Though in this series, it's not been a good start for the Braves against Colorado. 2 straight losses. Colorado, have been impressive on the road this year. They found ways to win. Haven't been great offensively, but they find ways to win on the road. Atlanta heating up a bit. They've been good offensively. You have to figure, Donnie, Senzatella will have some trouble here. This should be a game where Atlanta could save face a little bit in this series. Their boy on the mound, Fultonavich, this one looks strong. Maybe a first 5 minus a half. You kind of isolate both pitchers. I really like Fulty over Senzatella here.
Yeah, what's interesting, Jeff, because Fultonavich, I mean, he does fall into some ruts every once in a while, but he's a better overline pitcher than what we saw last night with Newcomb. Talking to you on the show yesterday, the one problem we have with Newcomb is, all right, he has a good year, but he got shelled last start against a good baseball team. Now he's going to go up against another good hitting baseball team. How's he going to fare? Didn't fare that well. Fultonavich, a little bit stronger pitcher, more of a power arm at this point. He should be able to get the job done today. And if we're looking at Senzatella, Jeff, you say you got to take the Coors Field type stuff out of it. Just look on the way. I mean, even if we separate that, he's not a great pitcher there on the road. I think Atlanta overall is a better lineup, and you're taking a look at some of the numbers here. Let me see what we have here. 74% betting Atlanta at this point. Opened up at 140, 145, now at 155. You would think Atlanta would come to play. Sometimes, Jeff, you don't have to check the Atlanta lineup anymore. Does Freddie Freeman ever get a day off? So you're worried about that? Maybe Arenado gets a day off. Maybe Trevor Story gets a day off for Colorado, and you can tack on that a little bit. This is a game I'm interested in taking a look to see what some of the lineups that come out to be. It is a night game down in Atlanta. It's probably going to be hot and muggy, but I agree with you in this. It's a pretty high number, but if you're going to stop the bleeding, Foltynewicz is the guy I want on the mound there.
Exactly. I like Folty's pitch very well. St. Louis hosting the Brewers. St. Louis -145, total 8. Wade Miley against Miles Mikolas. Mikolas, we've talked about. He's had a great season. He's pretty much the opposite of Tyler Chatwood. He doesn't walk anyone. It's very random where he'll get more than 1 or 2 walks a game. He's very good with control. He's had a great season. He's been their best pitcher by a wide margin. Donna, are we starting to see the second coming of Adam Wainwright here? That big-time pitcher that the Cardinals need, that ace. I don't know. Mikolas has been terrific, though. When he pitches, the Cardinals 17-7 this year. They're hosting the Brew Crew, and Miley has pitched well also. You talk about another guy, Donnie, who has had a resurgence career-wise. We've seen it with Edwin Jackson. We've seen it with some of these older chaps. Wade Miley, throw him in. 8 starts, ERA at 2.23. His whip has been good as well. It's only about 1.2, pretty solid. He's had a nice season. Both pitchers, though, have had some struggles against the opposition. I don't have a lot of luck with the Cardinals, so this isn't a game that I'll be interested in. But you got to love Mikolas here.
Yeah, I've talked about on the roundtable, Jeff Mikolas. I mean, he's been really good. What do you want out of your pitcher, right? What's the single thing you want, especially out of a young pitcher? Keep us in the game. 7 innings, 4 earned runs. 7 innings, 2 earned runs. 7 innings, 1 earned run. 6-2, 5-2, 6-2, 6-2, 4-3. If you can stay in the ballgame with the young pitcher, hand it over to your bullpen and always have a shot, that's going to bode well. And the one thing I can't, Jeff, Wade Miley is a bad pitcher, right? His advanced metrics are awful, but he's fighting against it. Everybody was talking about early in the season, like, when's Gio going to fall off? When's Gio going to fall off? Knocking at the door the entire time. Well, he finally did. When does Wade Miley fall off? Because his advanced numbers are awful. Atlanta, 6 innings, 2 earned runs. Colorado, 5-3. Dodgers, 7-2. San Francisco, 5-2. Dodgers, 6. He's due to get imploded and blasted. Is tonight the night that happens, Jeff?
It could. I hear you, though. You're right. It does seem like he's on pace to get jumped on. You're just waiting for when it is. It's kind of like Wade LeBlanc, Donnie. Wade LeBlanc, you were just waiting for him to get fucking owned, Yeah, I mean.
Because the Cardinals, Jeff, they're going to stack right-handed bats tonight, and they're hot from the right-handed side. He's going to be spinning those 81-mile-an-hour curveballs up there at the plate, and usually in St. Louis at this time of the year, it's hot and muggy, and that ball should fly, and he's not a ground ball pitcher. It's got to catch up to him soon, and I just like what Mikolas brings to the table in this. He's going to give you an honest effort. He's going to be home. As long as you give me Yachty behind the plate, that's going to slow down the running game and keep everything in order. That's the way I'm leaning there. I just don't trust Miley.
Yeah, me either. Touts McGee making an interesting point. That a perfect example is what you guys did in NFL and college basketball. Just think if someone was wagering $5 to $1,000 per game. Donnie, if you wagered $1,000 a game on my NFL or your NFL and my college, you know how much you would have made this year?
You probably wouldn't have made anything because you wouldn't have had an outlet to even bet on at that point.
Correct.
Right?
But if you did, you would have made, and this is a true story, if you made $1,000 a game, you would have won about $68K on the season between Donnie and I. So listen, we have our strengths. Donnie's great NFL. We do well generally in college. I'm very good college basketball. Donnie contributes. We have a good cohesion. So again, yeah, I mean, that's a great point, Touts McGee. Now, will that be like that every year? No. You look at Rightside, you look at Donnie. I mean, last few years, he's been very effective in the NFL. 2015, return on investment leader at Handicapper Watchdog. 2016, he was very good. 2017, return on investment. 2018, return on investment is what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. A 33% ROI is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I had 41% ROI last year in the NFL. And again, I always laugh and say, I'm glad it was recorded somewhere because nobody would believe me and say, oh, yeah, I went 37 and whatever it was, last year, a ridiculous number, 41% ROI, and it's a lot of fun. Again, you're right, Jeff. You can't guarantee it, but you just want to keep them in the ball game. I tell people the best philosophy I've ever had, if you took today's baseball card, 15, 16 games, if you took Jeff's soccer card, you say, you know what, there's 20 games on soccer. You took the time to break the card down and you settled on one game that you thought was the best game on the card. And you did that every day. You can't, not to say you can't lose, but you can't hurt yourself. Do you see what I mean? You can only have edges on so many things. And if you took one game, I don't care what capper you are, you like to put 15 games out on a Saturday in college basketball. Imagine if you took your best game each and every day, you would have more money in your pocket than not. Guaranteed.
Okay, I want everyone to look at the camera right now.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking.
If you bet a lot of games per day, you will not win. You will not win. It's not going to happen. There's too many things that can happen in those 12 games you bet that day, and you need to win too many games to profit. If you bet 12 games, Donnie, you know how many you need to win to make a little profit? Like 8 of them.
Yeah.
After juice, 7's not going to get the job done. Even 8's not a lot. You have to win 9 out of 12 to make some kind of profit. That's very difficult.
Yeah.
You have to pick 1 to 3 games per day that you love, that you fucking give your all for. If they win, great. They should win because you put your time into it. If they don't win, no harm, no foul. Yeah. Donnie, 1-1's not that bad.
No, you're right. Yes. Yep.
You know how many?
You had fun. If you go 1-1, what your whole value of your entertainment? Let's just say you bet a game at 1 o'clock in the NFL and 4 o'clock, and you went 1-1. You got 7 hours and probably lost like $25 or $30 on that game and had the time of your life. Is there anything wrong with that?
No. And the key to everything is looking for those. Listen, when you're over the course of a season trying to stay 65%, 60%, and you go 1-1, nothing wrong with that. It's not going to hurt you. Now, you don't want to go 0-2. But I can't say, Donnie, there were many 0-2s I had last year college baseball. There just weren't.
Yeah.
I just don't. If you're putting your money and you're focusing on 1 or 2 games, 3 games, you will win. You just have to be smart with it. You can't fucking think you're going to score and go 12-0 one night. You cannot win betting like that. It's not going to happen. And if you think it is, I have a fucking house in Iowa on the beach next to the ocean to sell you. It's not going to happen. But there'll be someone out there that thinks they can do it, and they'll get fucking flat in their face. And
the thing about it is, if you're going to bet a lot of games in volume, you're going to get on red hot runs. But you know what happens when you get on the red hot run? Oh man, just went 13-2 over the weekend. Bought myself a nice Xbox, got a nice pair of kicks, went out, paid them for my girl wanted a new iPhone, bang, knocked that down. All right, now I got a couple $100 left. And the next week you go 3-12 on that weekend. You go, well, man, I got to take these kicks back. I got to take my girl's iPhone back. Like you can't live like that. Why live like that?
Rostradamus, 8 in one day is better than 1 in a day.
Not if you put $1 million on that one play.
Yeah, listen, that's not fucking happening. Like I love these people that try to justify everything. Like, seriously, I'm sure you have done it. I'm sure you never lose, Rostradamus. I'm sure you never lose. You win every single night. Listen, Rostradamus, it's easy over the internet. Like, if no one knew me, I could say, yo, I went 25-0 last night. Who the fuck's going to know? I can do anything I want. That is absolutely moronic to bet all those games.
Juan's coming up with T-shirts out here, Jeff. Juan White says 0-6 days ruin lives. That's a great T-shirt, man. You know what I mean? Right side of campus, 0-6 days
Here's
ruin lives.
Here's an idea. Don't do them then. 1 or 2 games.
I love it.
It's like, Donnie, they used to say, an apple a day will keep the doctor away.
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 games a day will keep the bookie away. Negatively, bookie away. But yeah. He might be trolling, but listen, trolling on the internet's tough because I don't know.
No, you got to have that sarcasm up, Jeff. I live on sarcasm. Don't be surprised, Jeff, if I speak next week at the IFBC in complete sarcasm.
Hear me out. Being a sarcastic person on the internet is fucking stupid. Nobody knows that you're sarcastic. Most people don't know who you are, so they don't know how to take you. We know you. Okay, so maybe we know that, but like Rostradamus, I don't know him, so I don't know that he's being sarcastic. He just kind of is talking stupid to me. But if he's being sarcastic, there we go. Yeah. Well, listen, Rostradamus, you're one of those people that you're someone that we've not seen in this business. You never lose. You're the king. You're a great capper. Even though I don't know who the hell you are, but you're a great capper, though. We remember that. Even though it's the first time we're talking to you. How can I tail both of you guys? Well, you'll know that very soon.
No, it's not Jeff. It says, how can I tell both of you guys picks this year? Like, you can always guess. Yes, he can always guess.
Okay. Well, settle down, direction. We got something coming. Just take it easy. Why does Peter Loshek bet 100 games a day? I don't know. That's his business. That's how he likes to do it, I guess. I don't think that's a good way to handicap, but we all have our own. He might not like the way I handicap.
He might not even like you, Jeff. I like that. So
Peter's been doing this a long time. He's been at SBR longer than I can remember. He knows what he's doing. That might be his way to handle it. I'm just saying that's not how I do it. Let's, Donnie, get into some more baseball here.
Yep, get into the God, Jeff. Come on, get into the God right here.
Okay, God's on the mound, 144. He's laying against Clayton Richard. Zach Godley gets Clayton Richard, a total at 8. Diamondbacks, Padres, Donnie, you wanted to get into this game. What do you got?
Yeah, no, looking at Godley with a couple of these numbers, let me just get the betting totals here because you know it, Jeff. Look, we're not even looking at, sides or who's going on. If I told you Godley's on the mound at San Diego versus Clayton Richard, what would you say the betting percentage would be in this game?
Donnie, I get why. Real quick, I get. I have to DM you off the record here.
All right, DM you there.
I see someone crawling back for your picks now. He's all of a sudden interested in you now.
Everybody loves picks, man. That's what they come here for. 84%, Jeff, on Arizona and Godley here. Opened up at 135, 140, staying in the 145 area. And I just lost my earpiece here, so I'll just keep going here. And hopefully you can still hear me out there. But getting back to the card here, looking at this Godley play. I mean, look, what do you want out of Richard at home? Or what do you want out of the San Diego Padres? Known to go into deep slumps out here and known to not hit very well. And you're getting a really cheap price on Arizona, Jeff. Is that maybe going to lean a little bit and say, I'm just going to take that underdog role at San Diego because 85% of the betting public is on Arizona, even though they're not the better team? I'm not going anywhere near the Padres. Every time I bet the Padres, it seems like they come up and snake me from behind.
Yes. Last night, fuckers, God forbid Lucchesi. This fucking guy pitched well all year. I take an under involving this prick, and he can't get anyone out. Dude, if you can figure the fucking Padres out, I'd like to hear from you because I sure as hell can't. Yeah. They're a weird team. How about this? Bournemouth has come back. They were down 1-0. Now they're up 2-1. How about that? QPR is now getting crushed. It was 1-1. It's now 4-1.
Damn, QPR.
QPR is shit. They are really poor. Donnie, you got to pick a new team. Come on.
Come on. I got to ride with. Jeff, I rode with Oakland all these years on the West Coast, and we're finally reaping the benefits this year. One day, Jeff, I'll be old, and QPR will make it back to the EPL and make it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know if they ever will because they're going to go down this year, and they're going to be 3 levels down. So I don't know if that will ever happen. They're just a small club being lost in the monotony of England football. Let's take a look at our other games here. Can I get a fucking goal in Mansfield, for Christ's sakes? Come on, you fucks. But other than that, I need a goal in Wolves, Leicester. Everton needs to hang on here. We need a few more things to go our way here. Couple comments here. Big man's 100% right. Thank you, Hal. Keep doing you. You'll find yourself in the poor house.
What is he talking about?
He's talking about this idiot Rostradamus.
Oh.
Because he never loses and wins every year. But Rostradamus, here's the problem. We still don't know who you are. You're still here typing away anonymously.
Jeff, are you Rostradamus on the back end out there playing with yourself right now?
It's funny though, because your name is Rostradamus. Okay, so you do know Nostradamus was a fucking drug addict who just talked about his acid trips, and people believe that they were actually true things that were going to happen. Rostradamus was a fucking drug addict.
Yeah, but Jeff, you can't. You have word on the street though is you can't even be like a good artist though without a heroin addiction though, Jeff. So maybe he was on to something early in life.
No, he would have like these fucking things in his head he'd see when he was high, and he would just write about it. And people hundreds of years later, thousands of years later, would read them, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is pretty amazing. This guy just thought this stuff up." No, there were things he would see when he was high. But then again, maybe you're right. I mean, Edgar Allan Poe, Kurt Cobain, they were all drug addicts. Thanks, Derek. Yes, bookies do love taking their money. That is the goal of bookies. Donnie, let's keep it going here. I don't think we'll go over every game here. How about this? And I'm sure this will be fun because I'm sure everyone will recommend a game that they'll recommend every game, so we'll just have to break them down anyway. After this, we'll do one or two more games that you want to talk about. So we'll pick two games. Give us two. What do you got? Let's go through Toronto and the Yankees. Yankees with a big-time comeback last night, Donnie, down 4-0. They come back and get the job done 7-5. Big win. And I'll tell you what, this is a nice start for Severino. You get a team that you should be able to handle. I need to see 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs for Severino today, Donnie. He's going up against Reed Foley, who sounds like a fucking wrestler. What do you like here in Reed Foley and Severino? You have to think Severino's got to get it going here.
Yeah, I think as a rule of thumb in life, Jeff, like you never put your money on a man with a hyphenated name, I think is rule number one. But no, Severino really needs to get back to the basics. He's at home today. One of the guys that can absolutely blow by batters, Jeff, 97, 98, deep into the 5th and 6th innings. This is one of those games that needs to be a confidence game because we've seen Toronto wake at the plate. They can hit out there. He needs to go out, Jeff, get 6 innings, 9 Ks, nice clean slate, maybe 1 or 2 runs at the most. And the Yankees should be able to feast off this young pitcher here in the Bronx. I don't see any problem with the Yankees. Am I betting the Yankees today? No. I bet against Severino's last time out. Mets wrung him around a little bit, which I was very happy to see, but this is one of those starts you have to win. You're not going against DeGrom. You don't have to feel the weight of the world on your shoulders saying, boy, I better hold this lineup down to 1 run or we're going to lose this game. Let those bats get going. And the key ingredient, Jeff, can he get through the first inning clean, right? Then you get the Yankees up at the plate. Maybe Giancarlo goes deep, gives him a 2-0 lead, and you can settle in because it looks like some of the MO, Jeff, he's getting hit around a little bit early. There's case in point with the Mets. First batter of the game, you give up a solo home run. Now you're already sweating the rest of the way. No, give me that clean first inning out of Severino. You should win this ball game, and you better win this ball game.
Agreed. You have to. It's imperative. Big man, Hazard not starting for Chelsea. Yeah, listen, I'd set it on the Premier League punters. I like Arsenal. I think draw double chance for the people that want to win. If you really want to get hard and go hard, let's jump on that Arsenal win here. Is it a game that I'm going crazy on? No, but I'm thinking about a small play on Arsenal. I think they can win this match at plus 300. Big play, Donnie, on big number on Arsenal there. As far as I do want to, Donnie, I was considering, what I was thinking, Donnie, about doing when we go out to Vegas? I was thinking about picking randomly.
Oh, I lost you there.
You would want to.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You're back now. Go ahead. I missed that there. You cut.
What I was thinking about doing is I was thinking about if anyone, like I picked 2 listeners, I take them out to dinner. We hang out, we chill.
Yeah, why? Vegas is the place to do that, Jeff, because you can get away with surf and turf for like $4.99.
No.
Everybody out with you.
I'm talking like I'm looking up this place. They have it in New York. They have it everywhere. Nobu. It's sushi spot.
I ain't taking anybody out to Nobu. When do you even have time to take somebody out to Nobu down on the strip?
Listen, Sunday night, if anyone wants to go to Nobu, let me know.
Sunday night now. I thought, what, you having multiple dinners I don't know about on Saturday night?
We'll talk after the show. No. But some night I want to take 2 listeners to Nobu. I want to eat there. Maybe Sonny Vega. That might be a good person to take to Nobu. Sonny Vega, you and Taylor will go to Nobu. You want to go? I like Sonny Vega. Good listener. I know he'll be in Vegas.
Yeah, but will Sonny be allowed to broadcast live from your dinner, though, Jeff? That could be a wrench in the
well, no. It's going to be a private dinner. No broadcasting. So Gabe will be out probably. Yes, Sonny. I was considering Macedonian, but I can't find a restaurant in Vegas. So maybe we'll just go to Nobu. That would be great. Let's figure it out here. Let's keep it moving. Someone asked about Texas, the Texas game. I didn't see who it was, but we'll check that one out. Texas and the Angels. Andrew Heaney on the road, lane 117. Martin Perez for Texas, total at 10.5. Now, Donnie, last night, a lot of people got involved in the over in this game last
that's
night.
a bad one. Yeah, go ahead, talk on that.
Closed 11. It fell 6-4. Tough under loss if you had the over here, or tough over loss if you had the over here. What do you think about this one? Martin Perez, an over guy you definitely always want to look at. Guy never gets anyone out. It seems like every time he pitches, he gives up 6 or 7 runs. Heaney's been poor on the road. This has to be an 8-6 game, isn't it?
Yeah, you're looking at last night when you have the Hutchinsons of the world on the mound and some low-level pitchers. You're saying in that ballpark, things should pop. And you're right. Like, as a bettor, just in your mind and your psyche, you want to take that over even though it is at 11. And, that's one of the games that was on my board. I was looking. I said, you know what? Not enough information overall. I mean, I know they're 2 bad pitchers, but I want to see more of a track record than opposed to like, some spot starts and what you can give me out there. Early on in that ball game, I'm like, damn, Jeff, you know what? I missed it. I should have just been square, put a little money on it. It's going to cover easily in this game and somehow comes to a grinding halt overall. So now we're taking a look at the game today and maybe more of the same that's going to come in, because when you're dealing, Jeff, with Globe Lake Park, like it's weird because we know it's going to be hot, sticky, and humid down there. Both these ball clubs can hit a little bit, but it's one of the weirder ballparks where I guess wind doesn't matter that much, Jeff, because it seems like it's always blowing in from right field at between 8 to 15 miles an hour and has no bearing on it. But you're right. In Texas games, usually they can't pitch, right? They can't pitch on the starting end. They can't pitch in the bullpen end. And they have a lot of nice launch angles on that offense that, look, if things aren't going well, a guy walks, a bloop single, and a 3-run home run comes behind it. In these type of games, Jeff, you're right. It's either over or nothing for me in this because it's hard to take unders in Texas.
Agreed. Settle down, Rostradamus. You talk stupid. 8-1 is not fucking possible every day. You're talking like we all do that every day. You're talking like you're better than everybody else. Sorry that I don't agree with your comments. If you want to run away, take your ball and run home, go ahead. I'm just telling you, I don't think that's a feasible way to talk to sports bettors. It's not possible. We shouldn't be painting this business as fucking candy roads and candy stripes. It's not going to happen. We're not all going to Oz and we're going to see the wizard and we're all going to get everything we want. It's not going to happen. We have to stop purveying this crap to bettors. It's not easy. It's not easy to do this. It's hard to do. And I'm not going to purvey this crap that people win and you never lose and 8-1 is possible every night. That is not the way to sports bet. I'm sorry. If you want to do it, go ahead. But when we're on a show like this, our goal is to try to help people. I'm not going to purvey that crap on these shows. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to kiss your ass that you bet all these games. That is not smart, and I'm not going to allow it. On this show, we'll do it. What you do on other shows or on your own personal life, that's your business. But Donnie and I have done it a long time. Donnie's done a great job in NFL. You know how many plays in NFL he had last year? 49. You know why he won? Because he was smart and selective, and he won 37 of them. That's how you win. Not betting 640 plays a year. I mean, seriously, you know how many times you have to win to make that happen and be positive there? I mean, you're acting like you're better than everybody else, and I'm not going to put up with it on the show. Donnie, you've been doing it a long time. You know. It's just not going to happen. You got to be smart.
Always be smart, Jeff. To each his own there. So
West Bromwich Albion up 6-1 now.
Come on, man. That's embarrassing for my squad, man. I got to get a jersey. I need a QPR jersey.
It was tied at half, Donnie. They've scored 5 goals.
So I guess in baseball terms, Jeff, did they put like the fans in just to play goalie or something like that? Like you put the position players in?
No, you just take a whacking. No, you just keep going. No backups. I mean, you can subbing people in, but it doesn't last long. But no, they don't put the coach into play or something like that. All right, Donnie, let's pick out one more baseball game here. Let's go down the road. How about Donnie Oakland? How about Oakland? I was watching this game last night. Did you see the ending of this game?
I did not see it, but I saw because I'm a big fan of if a play doesn't go my way, I am screenshotting it and yelling at the world, Jeff. So go ahead.
I'll tell you what, that when it was 3-2 and the kid slid into home, I don't know how you overturned that call. That was brutal if you're a Houston backer or a Houston player. That was brutal because there was no evidence to overturn that.
Yes, man. I saw this thing. Somebody had a great still shot, Jeff, that literally had the catcher swinging the mitt back. Now, whether he was touching him at this point or not, he was within a fraction of an inch and about to touch him. And there was a good 6 to 8 inches between the runner diving in's hand and the plate at that point. So I can't imagine if you left the call in the field the same as it was, either way, you might say, really couldn't tell. But the whole faction, Jeff, of overturning a call has to be like, this is an egregious play. You're right. I don't understand how they did it. And if I had money on that, and again, we're not talking about, Jeff, like Marlins and the Reds, where the outcome of the game doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. These two teams are charging at each other. That could be a game-deciding, season-deciding type play.
Yeah, it was. I don't know how you make that call if you're an umpire in that game. At any rate, you keep the call on the field and you just say, you know what? I don't think there was an advantage here. But I didn't. I gave out over. I mentioned back the over in that game, Gary, on the punter show. But what do you think in this game, Donnie? Keuchel and Cahill. Keuchel at this price looks mighty good. Cahill is. Cahill.
Looking overall at the game, Jeff, I mean, you're taking a look at season splits. Cahill at home, Jeff, 2.70 xFIP, all away for Keuchel, 3.45, which isn't that bad at all. And then you look at both of their 30-day splits, Jeff, 3.56, and it looks like 3.63. And that, again, look at last night, Jeff. That's not a hitter's ballpark. You theoretically, on paper, have two really good bullpens, two really good starters, a playoff atmosphere in a pitcher's ballpark. I'm leaning under in this one, not going to lie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Keuchel at this price, hard to pass up, but it does look like a side people will be all over. Cahill, not a guy people want to back, so Sharps will back him. Cahill, though, at home this year, 7 starts, 3-0, or 0.90 ERA.
Yeah, man, look at that. Yes.
I think a lot of people look at it like I did. Maybe you just stay away. Under does look solid. And there is some – that's a good point, John. There is seem to be magic going on in Oakland right now. Yeah. That's a big-time win last night. How to swimming pool. I was at the Oakland game last night. Great game, great crowd. Yeah, it looked great. Looked awesome. I was actually watching it here live. They had it on. Dallas Braden doing doing commentary work. Kind of tough to listen to, but also Donnie.
Exactly. I don't even think they sit him in the booth in Oakland. Doesn't he sit behind the plate by himself?
No, he sits like on the booth side.
Yeah.
Kind of like that Pierre guy does on like NHL games. Yeah, you know, Doc. I just talked to Matty Niskanen, and he's talking about the atmosphere out in the ice, Doc. He said it's very crazy. Go back up to you. Thanks.
Yep. Or how about this guy, Jeff, in the NFL? Let's send it down to blah, 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 blah. Yeah, guys, sitting here in the end zone right now. Looks like the big man in the middle is missing his blocks on the outside. I just don't see it today for the Philadelphia Eagles. Back to you guys in the booth. Who's that, Jeff?
I played fucking Frankie on The Sopranos. It's me, Tony Sherrill.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
I
got a TV in the back of the end zone right here. We got Bratwurst back here. I don't see the guy on the line doing his job. Back to you in the booth.
Yeah, fucking get down and call down the truck and ask Vinny where the gabagool is. Funny stuff. Listen, Braden's not bad, but Donnie, you know who I heard calling a game last night?
Who?
On the Browns broadcast? Tim Couch.
Really? Look, welcome him back in the family? Yeah.
He's like their color guy. Yeah. He's like their color guy.
Maybe he signed his contract back in the 90s, Jeff, that said if I ever end my career, you have to pay me. So they're making him work off of some of the extras.
The thing is, though, it's like one of those, you know how the Eagles have Scott Graham and
paid telecast. It's a paid telecast. Yes, yes.
I think it's not like a true broadcast.
No, they all are. Just about every outside of you'll see the Monday Night Crew from ESPN get a broadcast. They're all in house. It's all rosy. Every single player on the team had an unbelievable camp, and it's going to be a shock if they get cut.
Donnie,
that's every broadcast.
This is what's so great about the Browns broadcast. These are the two guys that they have as their pro connections. I mean, talk about losers. Bernie Kosar and Tim Couch.
Yeah, Bernie's a legend in Cleveland, though.
I'm talking about
Bernie's a legend.
From an off the field standpoint, they're two big losers, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, say what you want. Bernie, because again, Kosar was a Miami Hurricane, went to Cleveland, had a very good career there, but you could just tell in interviews and the way Bernie Kosar talks, he's had one too many really good nights, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yes. Goal it to death, baby. Sheffield United. I fucking love England football. Let's go. Come
What
on,
happened, Jeff?
Donnie.
QPR scored?
Mansfield concedes, you fucking motherfuckers. Damn it. Still going to have a good day, though. Still going to have a good day. I think I'm going to go 4-2 here. Come on. Get in, you motherfuckers. I need a goal in Leicester. That's not going to come in, though. Fuck.
What about NFL wise tonight, Jeff? So look at that. You got an NFL game today, Jeff, at 1 o'clock. How about that?
Do you really?
Impressive. Yes.
No shit. What game?
Jacksonville Jaguars and the Minnesota Vikings, Jeff. Ooh.
It's funny, man, looking at these preseason games. It's like looking at do I really want to go through 4-string quarterbacks here? It's like
it's hard. Yeah, it is. It's hard. I can't. Football is going to be so much fun, and it kicks off next week. I'm really looking forward to next week, just to hanging around with all the guys and checking back in and doing a little gambling, eating, drinking.
That'll be week 3.
Talking football, man.
Right?
No, this is still week 2.
No, week 3 next week, though.
Next week, yes, correct. Yeah, so at least you get some nice viewing out there. I believe the Eagles play Thursday night, so Jeff, before we fly out, at least we can enjoy the Eagles game on Thursday night.
All I got to tell the books out there is there's going to be a guy. He's going to come in. He's going to bet fucking Premier League. I can't wait, Donnie, to bet some Premier League out there. That's the one thing I'm going to bet out there. Premier League, baby.
How about this, Jeff? Week 3, Eagles, Cleveland Browns. Ooh. We're going to get a little bit of time on Hard Knocks, Jeff. Like it.
Well, that'll be Thursday, so we'll be able to
watch it at home. Relax. Yes.
Walter B saying, "Wow, Arsenal." What do you mean, Walter B?
Yes, I agree with him.
The game didn't even start yet. What do you mean? I'm curious of what he means by that because I just took Arsenal plus 300.
Yep, look at that. The Hamburg's got it in here, Jeff. Jeff, if people don't know out there, me and Jeff, I mean, theoretically, Friday, Saturday, and most people are going to be leaving on Sunday. Me and Jeff are scheduled for 37 steak dinners out there, so we're going to eat good.
Like Kyle Hamburg, do you ever talk about anything but food? Like that's
no, because
that's all he talks about.
It's amazing. I can show the DM. Like we had a nice little wager on getting some grub, man, last year.
Every time let's
not forget, I was in Costa Rica last year, Jeff, sitting at a table in a mall eating steak dinners with people from the IFBC last year. I had no idea what I was ordering. Thank God I had a guy there, the luchador, who could speak Spanish and get through and get us what we needed. I paid for the tab as we left the night, Jeff. They could have charged me $15,000 for that dinner, and I would have had no idea.
Damn, that's so sick, Donnie. I had this one soccer game. It went 96 minutes. Team scored in the 95th minute to fuck me. That's brutal.
You get them, you get them, and you give them. Jeff.
Well, I went 1-0 in that league, 1-1 in that league. But no, Donnie. By the way, it is over at the Hawthorns. West Brom 7, QPR 1. Kind of rough. 6 goals in the second half. Christ.
Right. Was it at home? Was QPR home, Jeff? Did they embarrass the home pitch?
Loftus Road was shuttered this morning. The fans made their way down to West Bromwich Albion in the Midlands and had a tough day at the office. But Donnie, let's wrap it up. What are we doing? Do you have any plays you're keeping your eye on here in baseball? I'm keeping my eye on that Senzatella Brave. I'm taking Braves first 5, maybe -0.5. Looking at that one, maybe. Kind of have my eye on that over in the Ranger game as well.
Yeah, I got my eye on 3 games. I'm trying to limit it down because right now, I mean, look, if you're going to pay, a lot of times you're going to pay for a premium if you're going to take a favorite out there. Maybe you're not getting the best price on maybe a dog or a team that's really rolled over right now. There's 3 totals that, based on early numbers, I don't see any lineups out here, and that could certainly change. I'm interested in the Harvey Bumgarner, obviously the Reds and San Francisco. Then also interested in Kansas City and the Chicago White Sox. That has a game with one of those dynamics, Jeff, which I like, which both teams have really bad bullpens. Starting pitching leaves something to be desired. And again, the big ingredient is nobody really cares. So how many times you see these games end up 9-5, 9-6, 9-7, 6-4, just because nobody can stop the bleeding. And once they get hitting in the summer, nobody cares to stop it as well. Let me try this guy in the 7th inning out of the bullpen who's never pitched before, and let's just see how he gets into a high leverage situation. Sometimes those games work out, but also, and again, look, these games went 1-0 back-to-back nights. I'm looking at the over in that Cubs versus Pirates game, with Musgrove and Chatwood on the mound. The thing you like is obviously you saw last night with all the double plays outside with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The one thing you like about Chatwood, Jeff, if you walk the Pittsburgh Pirates, they're going to steal bases on you, and they're going to try to steal bases on you and take advantage of it. I think there should be some runs in that game. Those 3 totals I'm looking at right now, and I'll make a decision on at least one of those by the time we get some lineups out there. But those 3, they got my eye.
Very good, very good. Hope everyone has a great Saturday. Hope you have a good weekend. Fun weekend. We got MLS tonight. That should be fun. Maybe take a shot or 2 in the Major League Soccer. Tyson Fury fighting in a little bit here. That'll be interesting. But the real fight is down the road when he fights Deontay Wilder. Also, Donnie, next week, like we've talked about, we'll be at IFBC. Donnie is
no show. By the way, it's show schedule for me next week is nice. Like, we'll do a show Thursday morning, and then I have nothing on Friday, Saturday, and then I'm going to stay with the lady out there for a while next week. I won't be back till next Thursday for my first show appearance. So, Jeff, let's clean break, man. Looking forward to this vacation.
Yeah, well, I'll be here. So,
Fortunately,
I got to do this on my own.
Maybe you can bring on Rostradamus on. You guys can patch it up and break bread on the air. I think that's what we should do.
I'd rather slit my throat.
So look, I gave you an out right there, and oh well.
No, I know. Hal, no, I don't bet MMA. I would go contact Gamble Lou or Gabe Morency.
Is it Gamble Lou or Gamblu, Jeff? What are we doing with this guy?
I just call him Lou. I mean, I've known him for years. I call him Lou. Gamble Lou or Gabe Morency do UFC. Ian Cameron does as well.
Ian Cameron does.
Yes. Yep. Donnie, don't forget the $4 lunch at Pizza Hut in Miami on the way home. Settle down, Varnum.
Yes, we did. We shared a pizza or whatever we were eating on the way home, Jeff, from Miami to Philadelphia.
Before we go, Donnie, I do want to take a look at the Arsenal lineup and see what we have cooking for this one. Probably should have been a good idea to do before I made the bet, but I'm confident. I like their team no matter what. We talked about Hazard out of the lineup. Let's see who's in for Arsenal Football Club. Unai Emery's lineup. Let's see what we got. We have Czech in goal again. What the fuck, man? Bellerin, great, defending. Socrates, that's good. Mustafi, that's okay. Monreal in, good, awesome. Monreal, we won in at left back. That's perfect. Guendouzi in, but where the fuck is Torreira? I mean, this fucking lineup is shit. Again, no Lacazette. What the fuck, Emery? Where the fuck are Lacazette and Torreira in this lineup? Why the fuck we have Alex Iwobi in the lineup? Fuck off.
I like that guy.
Shit. I don't want Bellerin, I don't want Czech, and I don't want Iwobi. And Xhaka, he could fuck off too. Where the fuck are the bangers here? These lineups suck. But I do like seeing Monreal. Wanger's still picking the team for Arsenal, I see. Fucking guy. All right, let's wrap it up, Donnie. Everyone have a great night. Thanks for checking us out. Always fun here on the show. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.